This video is about 3 Sopranos characters, usually considered villains. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, a villain is a character in a story or play who opposes the hero. But what if there's no actual hero? This makes the label of villain not quite so simple, and The Sopranos is a great example of this, in my opinion.
Sucking up to Tony Soprano has done wonders for you.
Are you crazy?
Not as crazy as I used to be. Still crazy enough to take an eye out.
Richie Aprile. He's in prison for 10 years before returning in Season 2, Episode 3, and he causes quite a stir. As soon as he returns, he hits Beansy Gaeta over the head with a coffee pot, and then runs him over and turns him into a paraplegic when Beansy doesn't agree to Richie's demands.
Do you remember one thing this you better hear? You want to talk all this old school bullshit about the rules? Well, here's a rule you might remember. I'm the fucking one who calls the shots.
I'm making breakfast. You want some eggs?
I just made some coffee if you want, eggs.
I hope you're not thinking about moving in here.
You crossed the line on me once, Anthony, and I held my tongue. Oh, Johnny Sack! They must have free tokens at the tunnel.
But he definitely doesn't hold his tongue with Davy Scatino.
You know, Tony, I'm getting sick of this holier-than-thou act, and I'm not the only one.
Oh, really? Well, if anybody wants to make a move...
You forget? When you and my kid brother stuck up Feature Lamanna's card game? Feature was made before the electric light. If it wasn't for me, you two kids would have caught a vicious beating, to say the least.
At one point or another, they all saw Tony as the villain. Tony was the problem, not them. They were the ones who were doing the right thing.
What's mine is not yours to give me.
Standing up for themselves and their families, according to them. Believe it or not, Richie didn't actually kill anybody.
You go home, Richie. What's this?
What's this? It's the jacket!
Liliana, the remote is down there somewhere, too. It's on the shelves.
Now, who encouraged Richie the most in terms of egging him on? Janice, Tony's sister.
I'm old school, Janice.
All I mean is my brother needs help. When your opponent gives you an opening, be swift as a hare. Sun Tzu.
After Richie continues to sell coke along the garbage routes, Tony has a panic attack at an event, and then nearly has another panic attack after seeing Richie at the home he and Janice are looking to buy.
Junior, I don't want to rip open no wounds, but
I'm in no shape for disharmony.
you and I both know he's got to go.
The guy's fearless for his size.
That's nice. He's not respected.
Make a move against Tony Soprano.
No way. I don't know what to tell you.
Richie Aprile is moving against you.
Tony tells Syl to take care of it, but Janice has that under control.
But just because he's a ballroom dancer, you think your son is gay? And what if he was gay? What difference does it make?
I'm in no mood for you.
I have come to reclaim Rome for my people!
I don't get it. What do you mean?
Fucking gladiator.
I didn't see it.
You're an asshole, then.
When we meet Ralph, it's sort of out of nowhere, so we don't get much backstory.
My crew is in line for the Raritan Township contract, okay? This guy over there keeps whispering Albert.
You're what? You're a captain, Ralphie, when I say you're a captain.
And I'm gonna turn up my hearing aid so I don't miss it.
But Tony doesn't really do himself any favors by choosing Gigi to be captain over Ralph.
I'm earning my ass off for you.
It's my decision.
Why was I born handsome instead of rich?
2 episodes later, Ralph violently kills Tracy.
Tracy. She slipped. We were arguing, I don't know. She fell. My fault she's a klutz.
It's at this point, when Ralph kills Tracy, that he really earns the villain title.
Hello, Anthony.
Want a drink?
Another time, Anthony.
Another time. Make him disappear or make nice. You only got two choices.
I'm telling you, John, he's not leaving me a lot of options here.
I know Tony can be difficult. His father was the same, his uncle. They always need someone to demonize. But New York and Sopranos have long-standing ties. And that's not going to change.
We decapitate and we do business with whatever's left.
Season 3, Episode 8, He is Risen. Ralph rises to captain because Gigi has a heart attack. But things get a little bit sticky. Ralph is currently dating Rosalie, the mother of Jackie Jr. Let's just say Ralph doesn't exactly act as the best mentor.
I'll make sure your orders are done, whatever they may be.
Well, I think you should go with your instincts on this, Ralph. You took this kid under your wing.
Listen, you find yourself short on X. I know a guy.
You schooled him as best you could. Didn't you?
What about Moltisanti?
Nothing. We were just saying, he's young to be made.
He wanted it, so he stepped up and took it.
I think this is yours. Seeing that girl you used to date, that Valentina.
I gotta go to the hospital.
Well, maybe you should go see Pi.
There was a fire at the stables. They lost some horses.
You know what? Maybe I will have some eggs.
Well, we knew it was all downhill from there. Actually, take that back. Once Ralph killed Tracy, it was really all downhill from there. In just a matter of time.
Beautiful innocent creature. What did she ever do to you? Anthony Soprano has no respect for this thing.
Phil Leotardo, longtime Lupertazzi captain.
Phil, hey. I was just thinking about you. Those Islander tickets, right?
How about this humidity? Next time. There'll be no next time.
Though Phil does arrive at the beginning of Season 5, most of the Season 5 conflict related to the Lupertazzi family and the DeMeo family has to do with Johnny Sack and Carmine, who both want to be the boss of the Lupertazzi family after the death of Carmine Sr. But once the counter-retaliation comes, that's when Phil gets mixed in.
Anybody ever die in your arms? Your family member? Somebody you love?
No.
Well, give it time. See if I can't make that happen for you.
Go down and meet them.
But then things blow over, well, for Phil. But Johnny Sack, on the other hand, gets arrested. So Phil becomes acting boss in his place.
No complaints. It's real old school. I take my hat off. Truth be told, it's enough garbage for everybody.
There's enough garbage for everyone, but not enough room to get rid of all that garbage. Hence our problem later on with the asbestos dumping.
It's asbestos you've been dumping over there. Vito, do we know where he's at?
Well, that really doesn't concern you.
In your father's day, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
You're only acting boss.
I swallowed my pride when your murdering cousin killed my brother. Don't think I'm gonna do it twice.
One thing I do know, Vito has to be made to face his problems squarely.
In terms of the three of them, with Richie and Phil, it was more like they saw Tony as someone from the younger generation who wasn't fully entitled to their respect, and particularly not when they felt personally insulted by him.
What am I supposed to do with you?
What?
Back off and respect the title you
It's your ball. You make the rules.
No, I don't make them. They've always been there.
You got some balls, kid. I'll give you that much.
You'll give me what I tell you to give me.
Oh, Tony.
Take it easy, take it easy.
This ain't the 70s, and I'm not a kid.
Relax, it's an expression.
Well, here's another expression. You got 5 days to give me my money.
Billy, he's a boss.
Jersey? Come on, huh?
With Ralph, it was more like Tony saw him as a competition.
What's her name? Who? You brought her to the stables.
Oh, Valentina. Her especially. And her I'm crazy about.
I thought you were going to ask my advice about Ralph Cifaretto. but you never should have put Gigi in there.
He is.
As far as I'm concerned, this is like 9/11. Tony wanted our attention? Fine. He got our attention. Now we wipe him off the planet.
A whack a boss? I won't do that.
It's been done before.
And it was wrong then.
Eye for an eye then, huh? Pick somebody over there.
Your brother Billy, whatever happened there?
All right then.
Whatever happened there?
The shooting.
Whatever happened there?
God rest his soul, man.
Tony Soprano's cousin. I can't even say his name.
These villains, they would probably consider Tony Soprano a villain.
No more Butchie. No more of this.
After Johnny Sack dies, Phil officially cements his position as the next boss.
Congratulations again. Listen, I gotta bring this up.
Anthony, you always have business on your mind. Take a night. Smell the cognac.
What do you say to 15%, plus we forget about the balance, what you owe me on the vitamin truck?
First off, it wasn't an offer. It's my position. 25%.
Feelings make things financially unfeasible.
Charles Schwab over here.
Any hope of progress on this front disappeared after Coco decided to mess with Meadow, and then Tony beat Coco nearly within an inch of his life, causing Phil to not want to negotiate with Tony at all over anything.
Things should have been done during John's era.
But New York and Sopranos have long-standing ties, and that's not going to change.
Forget Coco. Forget Fat Dom, who goes over to Jersey and never comes back. Forget my brother Billy. Either it has meaning or no meaning. There's no scraps in my scrapbook.
Remember that thing I told you about that was supposed to happen about a year ago? Your problem with Brooklyn? It's on again, possibly. You. Maybe people close to you.
Make it happen.
So as I mentioned earlier, Richie actually didn't kill anybody. At least, not while we saw him on the show. While Ralph and Phil did. Ralph killed Tracy, and he's suspected of killing Pyomai. With Phil, he killed Angelo Gareppi, and he was present while Vito was killed. There are certainly many villains on The Sopranos, and these are just 3 that I chose to focus on for this video today. But I think they're very unique, and they certainly contribute a lot to the show. So, what do you think about these 3 villains? I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.